Hello students, I am VLN Swarupini, lecturer in biochemistry from Sri Venkateswara College of Arts and Sciences, which is affiliated to Adikavi Nannaya University, Rajahmundry. Now, I would like to discuss about second BSc 4th semester biochemistry paper, that is intermediary metabolism. So, in this paper, we have already completed the unit 1. Now, we are moving to the unit 2, in which we will deal about lipid metabolism. So, in the unit 1, we have seen about the carbohydrate metabolism and the metabolic pathways which are related to the carbohydrates. And coming to this particular lipid metabolism, we'll see in the unit 2. So let's see about this lipid metabolism, and the first topic that we are going to see about lipid metabolism is beta oxidation of fatty acids. Beta oxidation of fatty acids. So here the fatty acids in our body are mostly oxidized by beta oxidation process. So what is beta oxidation means nothing but oxidation of fatty acid will be taken in the it will be taken on the beta carbon atom. So that's why we call this oxidation process as beta oxidation, where because of the oxidation occurring on the beta carbon atom, we are calling this particular metabolic pathway as beta oxidation of fatty acids. Okay, and in this particular beta oxidation is explained by F. Knoop. He is the scientist who explained this fatty acid metabolism, that is fatty acid oxidation. And here this fatty acid oxidation we can see in 3 stages. You can see this beta oxidation in 3 stages. It's like activation of fatty acid in the cytosol. The first step is activation of fatty acid in the cytosol and transportation of fatty acid to the mitochondria, and the third step is beta oxidation proper in the mitochondrial membrane. Okay, these are the 3 major steps. By seeing the steps, what we can understand, this beta oxidation occurs in cytosol, mitochondria and mitochondrial matrix. So here the beta oxidation will be carried in the cytosol and mitochondria. So some part of the oxidation process is carried in the cytosol. Later it will be transported to the mitochondria, and finally mitochondrial matrix will experience this completion of fatty acid oxidation. So let's see the first step, activation of fatty acid in the cytosol. Activation of fatty acid in the cytosol. So here fatty acids are activated to form acetyl-CoA. So here fatty acid is converted into acetyl-CoA, and this acetyl-CoA is the activated form of this fatty acid, and this will move to the second stage of this beta oxidation of fatty acids. So let's see what happens during this fatty acid activation. So here we have a fatty acid. Okay, we have fatty acid, and it will be converted into acyl adenylate by the enzyme thiokinase. Acyl adenylate will be formed by the action of thiokinase, and this kinase, whenever you hear the word kinase, whenever you hear the word kinase, it requires a ATP molecule. It requires a ATP molecule. So by utilizing this ATP molecule, thiokinase will work on this fatty acid to form acetyl adenylate. Acetyl adenylate, and this acetyl adenylate is converted into acetyl-CoA by the combination of coenzyme. So here nothing but coenzyme A will combine to the acyl adenylate and it will form acyl-CoA. So let's see the reactions now. So here the fatty acid, this is the R means it is the functional side chain, functional, or simply we can also call it as side chain. Okay, so this is the side chain. R means it is the side chain, and if you see the structure here, R, CH2, 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 COO minus. So this is the fatty acid. This is the fatty acid, and this is being converted into acyl adenylate. Acyl adenylate. So if you see the structure of this acyl adenylate, it is R, CH2, 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 C double bond O, AMP. So here ATP is utilized and adenosine monophosphate is combined to this particular fatty acid to form acyl adenylate, and this is carried by the enzyme thiokinase. Here the enzyme thiokinase will help for this particular reaction, and the next step is acyl adenylate is converted into acetyl-CoA by the addition of one coenzyme A. Here what happens is this AMP is replaced with coenzyme A. Okay, coenzyme A is replaced in the place of AMP, and here if you see the structure R, CH2, 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 C double bond O, coenzyme A. So there is no difference in the structure, only the AMP is replaced with coenzyme A, and if AMP is present we call it as acyl adenylate, and if coenzyme is present we call it as acyl-CoA. Okay, so now the first step of this beta oxidation of fatty acid, that is activation of fatty acid, is completed. And here the most important point is the process of activation is taking place in the cytosol. Okay, it is taken in the cytosol. So now we are moving to the next stage, that is transportation of acyl-CoA into mitochondria. Okay, transportation of acyl-CoA into mitochondria. So here this transportation is carried by a carrier protein. Okay, so let's see how this particular transportation will be seen and why this particular transportation is important here. And as I said, here a protein will help the transportation of this acyl-CoA into the mitochondria, and that particular protein is carnitin. So here the transportation system for this acyl-CoA into the mitochondria is carnitin carrier system. Carnitin carrier system. So this is the carnitin is the important protein which is transporting this particular acyl-CoA into mitochondria. So here the inner mitochondrial membrane is impermeable to fatty acids. So basically beta oxidation should be carried in the mitochondrial matrix, And here activation process will only takes place in the cytosol due to the presence of thiokinase, which is an important enzyme for this activation. And after activation, this particular acetyl-CoA should move to the mitochondria. And here this acetyl-CoA, this particular acetyl-CoA is transported to mitochondria. So how it is transported? With the help of a carrier protein, that is carnitine. So here the inner mitochondrial membrane is impermeable to fatty acids, and because of that a specialized carrier system, that is carnitine carrier system, is helpful in the transportation of this activated fatty acid. Okay, activated fatty acid means nothing but the acetyl-CoA. So here the acetyl-CoA is transported with the help of carnitine carrier system. And here this particular transportation occurs in 4 steps. Okay, this particular transportation occurs in 4 steps, and acyl group of acyl-CoA is transferred to carnitine, and this is catalyzed by carnitine acyltransferase 1. Okay, so what happens here? Whatever the acyl-CoA is formed by the activation of fatty acid, so this is acyl group is transferred to carnitine, and carnitine protein will receive this acyl group with the help of the enzyme carnitine acyltransferase. We can also call this as carnitine acyltransferase 1. And the acyl carnitine, so after receiving this acyl group, carnitine protein is called as acyl carnitine, and this acyl carnitine is transported across the membrane to the mitochondrial matrix. So here from mitochondria membrane to matrix, this particular acyl group will be transported with the help of carnitine. Okay, and here what happens is carnitine acyltransferase 2 will convert acyl carnitine to acyl-CoA. So carnitine acyltransferase 2 will convert acyl carnitine to acyl-CoA. So acyl group is back to its original form. So again this carnitine is released and it will return back to the cytosol for reuse. That means it is ready to take new acyl group, that means new acyl group or new acyl molecule to the mitochondria. So in this manner carnitine will carry these particular acyl groups in this cytosol and mitochondria. So if you see the diagram over here, so here this is the acyl-CoA, and here the coenzyme A is replaced with carnitine. So exchange of this coenzyme A and carnitine will be seen by the enzyme carnitine acyltransferase 1, and now we have acyl carnitine and it will be transported to the mitochondria. And this here what happens, this acyl carnitine is converted into, that means here acyl group will be split with this particular carnitine, and carnitine will be formed and acyl-CoA will be found by the attachment of the coenzyme which is present in the mitochondrial matrix. And now whatever the carnitine separated from this acyl carnitine, again this carnitine will be back to the cytosol, and here again this carnitine will combine with the acyl group to form a acyl carnitine. Again this acyl carnitine will be transported to mitochondrial matrix, and again with the help of carnitine acyltransferase 2 enzyme, this acyl group is separated from the carnitine. So in this manner continuously this particular carnitine protein will help in the transportation of acyl group into the mitochondrial matrix. Okay, hope you got understood about the second step. So now let's see the third step, that is beta oxidation proper. That is nothing but the oxidation process, complete the actual oxidation. The actual oxidation process of this fatty acids will be seen in this particular beta oxidation proper, and it is carried by four steps, that is oxidation, and second hydration, again oxidation, and the fourth step is cleavage. So in this manner we can see the fatty acid oxidation. Okay, now let's see. So here each cycle of beta oxidation will liberate two carbon unit, that is acetyl CoA, and this occurs in a sequence of four reactions. So the first step is, as I said, it is oxidation. It is oxidation, and this acetyl CoA which entered this mitochondrial matrix, what it will do is this undergoes dehydrogenation by the enzyme FAD dependent flavoenzyme, that is acyl CoA dehydrogenase. So this acyl CoA dehydrogenase is a FAD dependent flavoenzyme. So here what happens, acyl CoA is converted into transenol CoA, and here the enzyme is acetyl CoA dehydrogenase. So here during this step what happens is a double bond will be formed between alpha and beta carbon atoms. So double bonds will be formed in the alpha and between the alpha and beta carbon atom. So if you see the diagram structures, so this is the activation step. We'll see the second phase, that is carnitine transport system, and this is the third phase which happens in the mitochondria. So here the structure are CH2 C double bond OS CoA, which is a acetyl CoA. It is converted into transenol CoA, and between alpha and beta carbon atoms there is a double bond. If you see the structure acyl CoA and transenol CoA, you can see a double bond between the alpha and beta carbon atoms. Okay, so this is achieved by the activity of the enzyme acetyl CoA dehydrogenase, which is a FAD dependent enzyme. Okay, so this is the first step in the third phase of the fatty acid oxidation. So next step is hydration. So here transenol CoA is converted into beta hydroxy acetyl CoA. So here enol CoA hydratase is the enzyme which converts transenol CoA to beta hydroxy acyl CoA. Okay, so whatever the double bond that is produced in the oxidation step between the alpha and beta carbon atoms, so here in the hydration step, what happened? The double bond which is produced in the first step between the alpha and beta carbon atom, it will be hydrated. It will be hydrated. Okay, let's see the step once. So here trans-enol CoA is converted into beta hydroxy acyl CoA. So if you see the structures here, we have RCH2 CH double bond CH C double bond O S CoA as trans-enol CoA. So this is the trans-enol CoA. So here RCH2 CHOH this is, okay, CHOH this is, double bond CH C double bond O is the trans-enol CoA, and here this trans-enol CoA is converted into beta hydroxy acyl CoA, in which this double bond is hydrated. Okay, and here one water molecule is utilized and the enzyme enol CoA hydratase is used, enol CoA hydratase. So here we will get RCH2 CHOH CH2 C double bond O S CoA. Okay, this is the beta hydroxy acyl CoA. Okay, so this is the second step, hydration in the beta oxidation proper. So the third step is again oxidation. So here beta hydroxy acyl CoA dehydrogenase is the enzyme which will convert this beta hydroxy acyl CoA to beta ketoacyl CoA. Beta ketoacyl CoA is formed by the activity of beta hydroxy acyl CoA dehydrogenase. Okay, this is also a NAD dependent enzyme. Okay, so let's see the reaction now. So beta hydroxy acyl CoA, that is RCH2 CHOH CH2 C double bond O S CoA is converted into beta ketoacyl CoA, that is RCH2 C double bond O CH2 C double bond O S CoA. So here addition of one double bond O is seen. So here ketoacyl means we will see two double bond O in this particular beta ketoacyl CoA. Okay, so this is the third step, oxidation. And now in the fourth step we'll see cleavage. We'll see about cleavage. So in the cleavage, the final reaction in beta oxidation is the cleavage, and liberation of two carbon fragment acetyl CoA from acyl CoA is seen, and this is catalyzed by the enzyme thiolase. So thiolase is the enzyme which will help in the conversion of this beta ketoacyl CoA into acyl CoA and acetyl CoA, and here both this particular acyl CoA is a 2 carbon fragment. So now let's see the reaction. So here is the reaction. So RCH2 C double bond O CH2 C double bond O S CoA is converted into two compounds, acyl CoA and acetyl CoA. Here CH3 C double bond O S CoA. This fragment will be separated as CH3 C double bond O S CoA as acetyl CoA, and the remaining fragment is ethyl CoA. So and the enzyme thiolase will help for this particular cleavage step. Okay, and this acetyl CoA will enter the carbohydrate metabolism into the Krebs cycle. Okay, so this is about beta oxidation of fatty acids. Okay, so along with this beta oxidation, we should also see about odd chain beta oxidation, odd chain fatty acid oxidation. So till now, whatever the beta oxidation we have seen, this is for even chain oxidation of even chain fatty acids, and here this is oxidation of odd chain fatty acids. Just let's see about this. So this is a small topic. During examinations, you should observe carefully whether examiner asked about the even chain or about the odd chain. If he just mentioned about beta oxidation of fatty acid, you can write about the beta oxidation that we commonly see in the even chain fatty acids. But if he mentioned any oxidation of odd carbon chain fatty acids, you should write about this. But this is mostly given for short answer. But in case he'll add in the examination, he may add as a part in the essay question, like write about oxidation of fatty acids in even carbon chain fatty acids and odd chain fatty acids. Then you should add both beta oxidation and also this oxidation in the odd chain fatty acids. Okay, so while answering the question paper, you should observe the question paper with the utmost care, and you should see what the examiner is asking exactly, and you should write the answer. So now let's see about this odd chain fatty acid oxidation. Okay, so here both beta oxidation of saturated fatty acids, that means nothing but the even chain fatty acid containing odd number of carbon acids, proceeds the same manner as described the beta oxidation of even chain fatty acids. So it is little similar to the in the similar manner oxidation of even and odd chain fatty acids will be seen. And here the only difference is last and final beta oxidation cycle. Okay, and 3 carbon fragment is left behind. So in case of beta oxidation in the even chain, what happened? We have got 2 carbon compound, that is acetyl CoA as the end product. But here 3 carbon compound succinyl CoA will be the end product. 3 carbon compound succinyl CoA will be the end product. So here the only difference is that the last and final beta oxidation cycle 3 fragment is left behind, that is nothing but succinyl CoA. Here the compound propanol CoA is converted into succinyl CoA. So this is not a single step reaction. Propanol CoA is converted into dimethyl malonyl CoA, and dimethyl malonyl CoA is converted into L-methyl malonyl CoA, and this L-methyl malonyl CoA is converted into succinyl CoA. Okay, so here this is also a 3 steps reaction. So let's see that. So here propanoyl CoA is carboxylated into in the presence of ATP and carbon dioxide, and also vitamin biotin. So this particular reaction is catalyzed by the enzyme propanol CoA carboxylase. What it is? Propanol CoA carboxylase. This propanol CoA carboxylase is a ATP dependent enzyme, and it also requires CO2. Why? Because it is a carboxylation reaction, and it is this particular enzyme also require vitamin biotin. Okay, so this is the first step in which propanol CoA is converted into D-methylmalonyl CoA. D-methylmalonyl CoA by the enzyme propanol CoA carboxylase, which is a dependent on ATP, CO2 and this vitamin biotin. Okay. So now let's see the reaction. So this propanol CoA, which is a CH3CH2 coenzyme A, we can simply call it as CH3CH2 CoA, is converted into D-methylmalonyl CoA, that is CH3CHCOO minus CoA, and the enzyme is propanol CoA carboxylase, which is a dependent of ATP, CO2 and vitamin biotin. Okay, so this is the first step in the oxidation of odd carbon chain fatty acid. And let's see next what will happen. So this later, by the activity of the enzyme methylmalonyl CoA racemase, this will convert methylmalonyl CoA to form its L form, that is nothing but this methylmalonyl CoA, which is formed in the first step, is a D form, dextro form, and now by the activity of the enzyme methylmalonyl CoA racemase, here LEVO form of this methylmalonyl CoA is formed. Okay, and later after this what happens is methylmalonyl CoA mutase, which is a dependent of vitamin B12, which is a cyanocobalamin. Vitamin B12 means cyanocobalamin, and this enzyme will catalyze the conversion of L-methyl malonyl CoA into succinyl CoA. Okay, and this succinyl CoA is a very important intermediate in the TCA cycle, that is Krebs cycle. So whatever the end product that we have seen in the even chain beta oxidation of even chain fatty acid, there we have got acetyl CoA, which is also a important intermediate product in the Krebs cycle. Now also we got a 3 carbon compound succinyl CoA, which is an important intermediate product in the Krebs cycle. So let's see the reaction. So here D-methylmalonyl CoA is converted into L-methylmalonyl CoA by the enzyme methylmalonyl CoA racemase. Next, L-methylmalonyl CoA is converted into L-methylmalonyl CoA is converted into succinyl CoA by the enzyme methylmalonyl CoA mutase, which is a B12 vitamin dependent. So this is how fatty acids undergo oxidation process in our body. Okay, so it might be a even chain or it might be a odd chain. So they undergo in this manner. So here if we have taken propanol CoA as an example for the oxidation of odd chain, and we have taken this particular common fatty acid. There we just mentioned R, that means side chain. Based on the side chain, that fatty acid will be changed. So here the important point you should remember is during beta oxidation of even chain fatty acid, end product will be a 2 carbon acetyl CoA. whatever the fatty acid it might be. So 2 carbon acetyl CoA will be the end product. So coming to oxidation of odd chain fatty acid, the end product will be 3 carbon succinyl CoA, 3 carbon succinyl CoA. So this is about the oxidation of fatty acids in our body. Okay, so this is it, students. Write the notes properly. If you have any doubts, please contact me. I'll post this particular PDF in the WhatsApp group. Thank you, students.